Here.
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 Also with us, Municipal Clerk Jay McCarthy and our Borough Attorney Tracy Schnurr. This is an official meeting of the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale on December 12th, 2014. The date, time, and place of this official meeting was faxed and mailed to all local news media and posted in the Bloomingdale Municipal Building. Per state fire code, I am required to acknowledge that there are two emergency exits in this council chambers, the main entrance through which you entered and a second entrance exit to the left of where I'm seated. If there is an emergency, walk orderly to the exits, exit through the door, down the stairs, and out of the building. If there are any questions, please raise your hands now. Seeing none, we have no presentations and no need for an early executive session. Jane, do we have any non-agenda items? Okay, then could I please have a motion for opening early public discussion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Early public comment is open for agenda items only, please. Please state your name and for the record.
Yeah, I don't remember that. 86 Grand Inn. The Rutgers State University, the safety course,
You talking about the bills list?
yes.
That has been removed?
What was that for?
We're not exactly sure. Mike, I know you talked to Sherry, but it was an error and it has been removed from the bills list.
Okay, the other one was for Pritchard Industries, the Santa at the school, which was obviously a 2014 expense, but it's being charged a 2015 budget. Is there any reason that's being done like that?
I can't speak to that. I can take a note and we can get back to you.
It's for Pritchard Industries, the Santa at the school, the $300. It's being charged a 2015. So, Jane, you want to refer that to Sherry and we'll get back to you? Okay. And also the bond ordinance, what is the breakup of what's going to be spent on what?
That's in the ordinance, isn't it? Giving me hard questions today.
Sorry.
Oh, thank you. Resolutions. No, I'm afraid I don't have the breakdown. Well, are you looking for something specifically,
I
or?
wanted to know how much is going to be spent for water utility equipment. I see there's so many water utility trucks, I don't know how many more trucks we're going to buy for water utility. And what other equipment we're going to be purchasing, and how much is going to be used for, I guess for the
Starlight Road?
Starlight Road, yeah. Anyone else have a better?
Well, I understand most of that is for Starlight Road, because we have to replace going out for bid to replace the 12-inch line, that leads all the way up to the water tower. So when I'm discussing, we want to have enough money, so if that water line has to be replaced, it's ready to go. The main fee.
I believe that was in the vicinity of at least $1 million, correct?
Was it a little less than that?
The whole thing is in there. We're also doing all the, what do you call, the curb boxes, the paving, the curbs, and everything on that street. So this line is going to cover, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but most of this is Starlight Road.
Right. But if you want, I can have Mayor Dunleavy give you a breakdown,
Okay, thank you.
because I do not have that handy. Jane, could you take that down for John, please? Anyone else for early public comment? Seeing no one else, motion to close, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Rich, in section 3, it does break it down.
It does break it.
Talks about Ryerson Ave,
This doesn't break it down by dollars,
Not by
though. She
dollars,
wants dollar figures.
but it's more than just.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm sure she was looking for a dollar amount, which I didn't have handy.
It's 202,000 on the last page.
All right, but we'll get you a detailed breakdown. When is he due back?
Thursday.
Thursday? Okay. Reports. Jane?
The only report I have is on the agenda that the last day to register to vote for the primary is May 12th, and our office will be open from Wednesday.
Tracy, you have
Nothing.
any council members have a report?
in the townwide garage sales this weekend? I think there's over 50 participants, from what I understand.
And we do have there are some late people who were not able to get on the map, but they felt that it would still be a really good showing.
But the map is online, but I've been told, I haven't seen
Yes.
it, but according to my wife. Good thing.
And we did have a really nice showing at Oak Pond for the fishing contest.
Oh, good.
That ended up to be great. I think Ray was there, Mike was there, so it was great. The kids had a great time, and
Yeah, I
there
know John
was some
was-
lovely fish.
Yes, I know John was sweating the ice
No.
up until
Yeah.
it finally melted.
Yeah, ended up to be a great event. It
Because
was nice
obviously
to
we
see
couldn't turn it
everybody
into
come
an ice fishing contest. That would be not very safe.
out.
Anyone else on this side? No. Then we'll move on to the consent agenda, which is the adoption of the minutes and resolution
4.5.
4.5. Thank you. Concerning Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month. Could I have that motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, on to pending business. Ordinance 7-2015, second and final reading of the public ordinance, various water utility improvements. Public notice statement, please.
Mr. President, this ordinance was posted in the municipal building, published in the Herald News, copies available to the public, so the motion may be made that it be read by title.
And who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that would be bond ordinance providing for various water utility improvements and the purchase of water utility equipment by the Borough of Bloomingdale appropriating $1,531,645, therefore, including a community development block grant in the amount of $140,245 expected to be received from the County of Passaic and authorizing the issuance of $1,531,645 bonds or notes of the borough to finance the cost thereof.
Thank you. Could I have a motion, please, to open public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to comment on the ordinance 7-2015? Please come up now. Seeing no one, a motion to close?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please. I'm sorry, did you have a comment?
Discussion first?
Oh, yes.
Me and Mike actually been kind of talking this, probably, what I'd like to see done, and we'd like, I think, to see done, is some test holes on Starlight Road to see exactly what that line looks like before we go out to bid for that kind of money. Because when we did it on Rafkin Road,
I know, yeah, there was concern, and it wound up not being
the
as
pipe
bad
was
as it
in
could
good
have been.
shape. So if we can have the water department do a couple of test holes, we're gonna have to pave it anyway.
Right, perhaps what we could do is make the 12-inch line replacement an alternate or something like that,
Well,
based on testing?
I don't wanna hold anything up, but I think in the next week or so, we can get that done, and then we can.
Right, I know, but when it goes out to bid, we can say, okay, we can do the 12-inch line if it's needed, or if it's not needed, because, I mean, this is just the money. We go out to bid, we can say,
And if we don't need it, that portion of the bond gets.
we can immediately cancel.
Gets canceled.
Yes. Does anybody object to that? Everybody in agreement with that theory?
Yeah, I know, I got another email from Rock today, from John Wigley, stating that the old pipe is permitted to be abandoned in the ground as long as it is not broken. The whole issue was, it was asbestos pipe, and when I asked Rock to dig it up and do test pits, he finally came back to me and said, the DEP there's a percentage in town that the DEP wants removed, if at all possible, when you're doing these. So at that point, he said we should just take it out at that point. But then talking with John, we still feel we need to look at the pipe, because there's nothing wrong with it. And he hasn't really given me any factual stuff yet, saying that the DEP has said that.
If asbestos is involved, the best thing to do with asbestos is to leave it alone.
Well, that's what the one email I got today
Right.
says, from John Wegley, if it is broken, then it must be removed. And if it has to be removed, then we're talking substantial more money, because it's not just take it out and pop it, it's got to be remediated.
Right, it's got to be remediated.
If it isn't, then it can stay. No one has spoke to the feel that the regs are going to be changed anytime soon, being the DEP regulations, that is. But I still feel it is waste of time. It is good wise to stay ahead of the game. That's Wigley. So remove it or let it go, abandon it, put a new line in, is what he's saying.
Okay. Well, again, this is for putting in place funding, so we can give direction to Paul, I guess, who'd be doing the designs for this on how to proceed with, testing and making sure, what's the safest and cheapest thing to do, whether we replace it or how we test it without disturbing any possible asbestos. So, does that sound like a plan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, roll call, please.
Councilmembers Costa.
No.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Della Ripa.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
No?
Yazdi.
Yes.
Now, item B, ordinance 8-2015, second and final reading for drug-free zone maps. I believe we were just changing a little language here. Do you remember, Tracy?
Yeah, I believe it's just the addition of alcohol so that if somebody is driving within, inebriated within the school zone, there's a
And then it's,
presumption, that, yeah.
okay. So, some minor changes. Public notice statement, please.
Yes, Council President, this ordinance was published in the Herald News. Copies available to public, so the motion be made that be read by title.
And who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's an ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale, in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, to amend Chapter 3, Police Regulations, Section 3-11, Drug-Free Zones Maps of the Code of the Borough of Bloomingdale.
Okay, could I please have a motion to open public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak to 8-2015, please come up now. Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And motion for adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers D'Amato.
Yes.
Della Ripa.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
On to new business, Section A, Resolution 4-6, payment of the bills. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Seconded. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay.
Sorry.
Discussion. Anything? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Della Ripa.
Yes?
Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Item B, adoption of tax lien certificates. That will be resolutions 4.7 through 4.9. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Della Ripa.
Yes. Now, resolution 4.10, change order number 1 for the Carroll Corporation. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second by-
Does anybody, we're in discussion?
Yes, discussion.
Thank you.
I just,
Does anybody know what the additional 2 fire hydrants, were they just not on the plan? Were they ones that were broken that we had to replace?
not entirely, John, or you didn't happen to hear, did you?
No.
And then the additional work, the lost day, what was the lost day for?
Lost day, because Tony asked us that, and we asked Sherry. That's actually, that, in my opinion, that should be deemed additional work hours because of the change order. Lost day makes it sound like they were just sort of standing around not doing
Yeah,
anything.
weather or something like that, or-
That's the hours they spent working on the scope of the change order. So those are additional man hours, I guess at an hourly rate or whatever it is they're getting paid. So it's not lost so much as I believe Paula called them lost because they were working on the change order instead of whatever it was they were supposed to be doing that day. Does that make sense? I didn't think it was a good phrase. But, I mean, we had to pay the people to do the additional work, and that's what that money is.
I just question if that's the case, then like the lost day on Popular, they did a water tap for $6,600, and then the line before, or maybe that was for Rafkin, that's what the line above it is?
Mhm.
The contract quantity change. Okay, that was Rafkin Road. So it's 2 different wet taps they did.
Yes. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sandemeyer,
No.
Yasti,
Yes.
Costa,
No.
Tomato, Delariva,
Yes?
Hudson.
No.
Now what?
I believe it fails, right? Tracy?
How many did we-
It's 3 and 3,
Yeah, so it didn't pass.
because it fails. Okay, Resolution 4.11. As you may have seen, we don't have numbers yet from the utility on the scope of this work, but per the recommendation of the treasurer, we are having to declare it an emergency. And Tracy, do you want to address how this language is working?
Right, so what my suggestion is that in absence of actual numbers, but because I understand that there's a true emergency that needs to be addressed, that the council can go ahead and declare the emergency and authorize either your administrator or in his absence, perhaps the treasurer, to carry out any administrative function in terms of a contract once the numbers do come in.
Oh, that's not.
Oh.
I think it's right, am I right?
No.
Isn't this the emergency?
Emergency is F.
It's this one, right? Not the Victor Street.
Yes.
We haven't gotten Victor.
We didn't get the picture, that's the first one. Right.
Oh, that's different. This is temporary appropriation. Okay. You're right. I'm sorry. Well, can we go ahead and do that one?
Sure.
Since that's what we're discussing? We'll make that 412, right? Yes.
There's two emergencies.
So we're discussing
that.
item,
Right.
This actually, I skipped ahead to item E.
okay, so we're
This is
discussing
until the
item.
adoption of operating.
We'll make item E
budget. So
4.11
temporary
and item D
appropriations.
4.12.
The second one, right, the second one is for the Victor Street.
Everyone,
So this is this one that you and I
Okay.
are looking at right now.
Yep.
Right.
oh, you're right, F.
F.
It's just
I'm sorry,
with two of them
Here's
on
the
there, it's a little
Riverdale
confusing.
thing.
because that's not an emergency. Okay, F is 4.11.
Correct.
Go back to D right after this. I'm sorry. You are on 12F, Resolution 4.11, the emergency resolution for the sewer break on Victor Street.
Okay.
Tracy, was that the appropriate line?
Yeah, yes, that's my suggestion.
Okay. Could I have a motion on that?
Second.
Any discussion?
Is there a dollar limit on that, like a not-to-exceed number, or is it just
Um,
to whatever it takes to get it done?
I think, well, unless we put one on, it's going to be whatever it takes to get it done. I mean, I don't,
Right now, we're just declaring it an emergency, and then we'll get the numbers,
And then,
then next meeting we'll
right.
discuss it.
But, I mean, it's
It's gotta be fixed.
It's gotta be fixed.
right, we're kind of at,
Yep.
we're leaving it to the discretion of the treasurer and/or the administrator, depending upon, or the mayor, you know, depending upon when we get the things back and what it winds up being. I mean, I'm
I
sure if
guess-
it's $100,000, someone's going to come back to us and say,
I guess it's a major,
It's gotta get
yeah, I know.
yeah, no,
If it's $10 million, it's gotta get done.
It's a health issue.
You can't really put a number on it.
Right,
Is
but I'm
there
sure he'll
something
give us,
that- I guess my question, right, is there something we can't do? Because I see they're already looking at Caro to come in and do this.
yeah, it's a pretty major break. I mean, it's taken them days. I mean, they're still in discovery phase at this point. It's been
Did-
2 days.
Because this is considered emergency, so this will be the first time that I'm going through this, do they still have to get 3 quotes on it?
No, I don't believe so.
No? Okay.
And I think that was part of John's concept, was because Caro's already here, they could, you know, they're already in town doing work. So, but I mean, certainly if they're exorbitant, I would hope that we look at somebody cheaper.
No, it's gotta get fixed.
Yeah, it's got to get fixed, so,
Agreed.
We're in the
Yeah.
middle of it, and it's backing up into people's homes. It's gotta get done.
Yeah.
right,
Like I said,
just, anyways.
No estimate on it.
before the town was in call, like drove by, and you could see the bubble.
Anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Joseph.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Della Ripa.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sondemire.
Yes.
Okay, back to D, which was just labeled emergency resolution, which is why I got confused. This temporary budget amendment. Have a motion, please?
That be 4-12, right?
This will be 4-12.
Back on track.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah. D is 4-12. Do we have a motion?
Already moved.
Do we have a second? Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? No. Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Costa.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Della Ripa.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sondemire.
Yes.
Yasi.
Okay, item E, which will be 4-13, which is a resolution authorizing the sale of sewer capacity to the Borough of Riverdale. Could I have a motion on that first?
Where's that one in here?
Second? Do we have a second on that?
Second.
Discussion. Ray, would you like to?
Right here.
Yeah, this was
Speak to this.
long negotiations with Borough of Riverdale. They were interested in getting capacity, back and forth on the price. Finally came to a settlement, and we're selling some of our capacity to them. It brings the borough about $1 million
For the utility, $1 million.
to the utility. So it's gonna help us
Keep rates
costs
down.
from going up.
Yeah. And thank you guys for working, and John, I wish he was here, but you guys worked real hard on that. It was great.
I'd like to thank you both for working on that, too. I just do have a concern, and that concern is, as Mayor Dunleavy would put it, I don't want to keep kicking the can down the road by saying in 2016 we're going to do, the increase. I think we should attack that now instead of waiting to build up to a 10% increase again down, later on down the years.
Right,
Or
and
whatever it could be, double digits. I think we should attack that
Yeah,
right
I know,
away.
Ray, we've had
Instead of
discussions
waiting.
about either something tied to the rates, the rate increases and passing that along to customers, or, just setting it 2% annually, or
Or whatever.
something like that, but yeah, we,
Professionals have been advising us of this is coming, I think 7 or 8 years since we had an increase. So the utility budget is running in a deficit, and we've been using surplus. We were lucky enough that Avalon Bay brought in a lot of surplus that we were able to use to keep it afloat. But knowing that Avalon Bay usage, right, will bring in fees, knowing that we were going to switch, and we're still in the process of switching over to Butler Water, which is gonna save us a couple $100,000, that extra revenue, this extra savings, in addition to this negotiations, were the reasons why I was hesitant to even bring that recommendation forward. And I think this gives us additional time to think it through. Yeah, I don't know if we have to do it today, but to your point, it's gonna happen.
I would
Because
agree
costs
with
continue.
Tony, though. I think it's definitely something we need to look at the next, over the next couple months. We don't have to do it today, but for sure, we need to,
we need to establish some, because
We do. I
no
mean,
matter
even
what
if it's-
happens,
yeah.
eventually, there's gonna have to be a raise, and if we just
yeah.
have,
we
if
haven't
we
had a
continue to
raise.
hide it, it's gonna be
Yeah.
another exorbitant amount when we finally get around to doing it,
Yeah.
or
I
whichever.
mean, we were very
future
lucky that,
councils.
we're very lucky we got this deal with Riverdale, or
At the
we
time
would
we
have had
got
to
it, yes.
make a huge increase, and so this has worked out really
Right.
well, but I do think that
Well,
we need to a little bit.
I don't know how much of, right, because this is about 5% of our capacity being sold, right? And that's gonna reduce our cost of,
It's going out.
no, the sewer cost is about
Right.
$2 million a year. So if that gets reduced under the 5%, plus the savings, plus the extra revenue from Avalon Bay, we might be okay. So I don't wanna jump the gun and just go.
Right, we have to do a detailed analysis.
give it-
Absolutely.
It's
it-
not
it
like
takes
before
time.
where we'd say, we're running in the red, we're gonna run out of money on such and such a date, we need to raise X amount of money to make sure that doesn't happen. That was simple math. Now we actually have to look, because I know Jonathan has looked at how much Avalon Bay has brought in, and it's hard to tell because apparently last year being, I guess, a wetter summer than the year before.
It wasn't a full year.
Right, but there was also the fact that apparently people were like watering their lawns less or something like that. So we didn't see as much,
Right.
you know, because that, obviously that's a variable amount from year to year. So, you know, how much you get from a new development, you can't exactly identify because of other variables that are going in. So, but I would certainly agree, it's not something we can afford to kick and ignore for another 5 years or whatever it is.
Well, we've been known successfully for 3 years, so keep that going.
No.
Right, and unfortunately, we can't, you know, easily make it retroactive or something, you know, it's like,
30 years?
you know, if we had a crystal ball and said, okay, what are our rates gonna be at the end of the year, and let's do that now.
I think you have to wait till the forecast comes in and see
Yep.
what's going on, and see what your next 5 years is gonna be like, and then go from there.
Right, so I would agree we have to do something, we just need to figure out exactly what that something is.
Agreed.
Ray, do you know, Carl, what we bought the capacity for? Was it $25 each, or?
No, it's on here. It's
$23 a gallon.
That's what we sold it. What did we originally buy it? Do you know what originally
It's not that we bought it,
acquired it? What do you want to?
there was an agreement for, 3-town agreement, and we each signed up for so much capacity.
Right.
We signed up for 3 times the amount that we're using.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we have plenty of capacity to sell. So, it was the cost of the pipes, and the cost of, the authority to run it. That's more of administrative cost, but it's really the cost of the pipes, which was a humongous loan that's being spread amongst the 3 towns based on
By
the
capacity.
that they're sending to the
Yep.
pipes. So anytime we reduce that cost, it's to our benefit, which we just did. So it's a double whammy. It brings us money and it reduces our costs. It's a double.
It's a double bonus.
It's a double bonus. There you go. I like that better. Yep.
No whammies, thank you. Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers D'Amato.
Yes.
Del Rippe.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sondemire.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
And now item G, resolution 4-14, is that correct? Authorizing uncashed refunds. Do I have a motion for that, please?
So moved.
Second? Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Del Rippe.
Yes?
Hudson.
Yes.
Sondemire.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Now we're on to late public comment. Could I have a motion, please, to open late public comment?
So moved.
Second? Anyone?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Late public comment is now open.
Linda Hunley, 86 Van Dam. I have 2 questions. First of all, on Fitcher Street, I recall there was a water main break there a couple of years ago, or in the
Right, but
recent-
we're currently working on a sewer break.
if there were, well, I don't know if it was the same. I mean, I just remember something happened on Fitcher, so I don't know if maybe you can look and see if it's the same thing, and maybe whoever did it before can fix it. Just something to consider.
Okay. Let me,
This one back on Woodward, I think, was paved, they came through, and we had a water main break at Fitchard and Woodward, I think.
okay.
That's the one you're talking
I'm not sure, I just recall something with
about. Gotta
Fitcher.
repave everything, because
And then as far as the authorizing the sale of the sewer capacity, I just question the timing, because I guess in the paper, on the April 8th meeting in Riverdale, Butler addressed that they accepted it, so they accepted what we didn't give yet, because we didn't approve it yet. So I just question that, and also,
Well, I mean, we had a understanding of agreement, I guess. I mean, the negotiation had finished, it's just a matter of when people had their meetings and what order things got approved, I guess. I
I
mean,
mean, I don't know if we can really speak to the actions of another municipality.
well, they said that they've done it, they approved it. And they approved it at the dollar amount that you're talking about, so I mean, I don't think it's 2 different agreements, it's something that they did, they weren't aware of, they knew what happened, and they just approved it prior to us approving it. And if God forbid, someone said no, and 3 years said no, then what do you do? Other question is.
well, I mean, yeah, that would, like the attorney said, it would be, you know, that's kind of their fault for passing it when they did, rather than waiting for us, but can't
Well,
really,
we should have passed it before, our meeting was the night before that.
Well, public discussion is necessary, right, before we authorize the attorneys to go
no
into that
contract
contract negotiation, based on the terms that was
But it wasn't
discussed.
approved by the
Yeah.
council. The
This-
council,
It
No,
just
but-
got approved by the council.
after it was already approved by,
So I'm confused on the timing, because I know that,
April 8th is when they did.
But Linda, just so you know, this has been discussed in our closed session for over a year.
You
Yeah,
can
but-
discuss
but-
as
but-
much as you want in closed session. It has to be addressed by the council
Well, and
outside of closed
that's
session.
just what
right, but I'm
happened
just
tonight.
saying, I thought the final agreement was until after our last meeting.
It wasn't, right.
Right, so I don't know how they could have passed anything before we had our
No,
final.
this was their first meeting, Kinnelon passed it last week, and we're passing
Right.
it this week.
Nothing was
It's
No,
signed
I-
our
before.
first meeting.
We didn't have any final,
The agreement.
we didn't have anything finalized or anything that before our last meeting. I can't
All
speak to that.
legitimate.
Well, also, what I would also request be done is prior to you consider increasing water and sewer, that you look at the salaries that are being charged, the municipal salaries being charged to the water and sewer, which are a lot more than is being used to run the water and sewer department. As well as, I'm not sure if all the I guess when the water department is plowing, is it being charged to the DPW, or is it being charged to the water and sewer? The use of their trucks, is it being charged to the water and sewer, is it being charged to the municipality? I mean, there's a lot of this that I
I-
know is going on.
I know that's a concern, I'm sure.
Before
Mr.
we do
Yazdi
any
can-
type of passing, there's gonna be absolutely public discussion on it, and all those points, I'm on it.
Because, I mean, if you look at the salary, and also, in 1998, sewer's capacity was sold at that time also, and there was over $1 million received. And that money went right to the municipality until 2007, when an ordinance was passed prohibiting it.
Right, and obviously, we have no intention of,
Well, you can't do it
Revert.
anymore unless you
Well,
change that ordinance.
right, I know, but
But, I mean, you do in the back, going in through the back door, taking out of salaries and everything else, you take it out.
I assure you, we have people on the council who are
All over.
similarly minded about,
Yes, ma'am.
about not soaking the utility for,
Anymore?
yes.
Okay.
Anyone else? Motion then, please, to close public meeting?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Could I please have a motion? There is one matter of negotiation. There may be action taken after executive session. Could I please have a motion to go into executive session?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are in executive session, 5-minute recess.